Oh shit. Here we go again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of Real Conversations with Cozy and Murph. This is a short segment about fantasy football, some highlights, some winners, some losers, the best of. And God forbid we announce our winner, Mr. Rearden from the Cozy and Murph Fantasy Football League, the first annual Fantasy Football League. Congratulations to everybody who participated. We appreciate everybody. Murph, what you got to say about this fantasy football season? Start us off.
Hey, it was fun. I can't wait to run it back next year. I think we had like I said, we had some surprising results. You know, starting out in the beginning, we had a couple favorites that we thought might take it, but in the end, you know, we see what happens. Rearden's able to take the championship. Trae, man, what happened, dude?
What happened?
I think it was fun though. You know, we changed the point format. I think next year we'll do something else kind of wonky just to keep it, keep it different.
Keep it fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall I had fun with it, man. I really did. And it was, something I'll look forward to doing next year as well.
Yeah. It definitely had a different take on it compared to other fantasy football leagues. And I know at the beginning people were skeptical about, how it was set up as your standard, PPR, points per rush. But it was fun. At the end of the season, I felt like everybody was involved except for Trae, and I think everybody enjoyed it. By the time it was done, people were, having a good time with it. People were making moves. People were always on the waiver wire. I felt like every week there was somebody, stealing waiver pickups from everybody. So I definitely enjoyed it. All around, fantasy football was fun. I did play in 4 leagues this year, which was a lot to keep up with. Made my mistakes in our league. I need to set, timers for this next season. But I did end up winning a fantasy football league. Blake Hardison ran a league, and I won. You still need to pay me my money, bitch. Run me that money.
Wow, that was aggressive.
Just kidding. No, it's not even Blake. I don't think it's Blake. I told him I was going to say this. But no, that league was a $10 buy-in league, which was fun. It was against Blake in the championship, and I just wanted to shout that out. We had a good time. And, of course, in the championship is when my team goes absolutely berserk, puts up a 175. And it's a good feeling. I never won a fantasy football league before. I felt like I was on top of the world.
Hey, it's like something you can't explain. Like, you just feel like a mastermind.
I'm a genius,
yeah, like you just got like that fucking mega mind type fucking brain.
I swear to God. But it was fun. Fantasy was fun this year. So I sent you a message earlier, and I went through and mapped out the best performers of this season, and I want to give you a space to talk. So I'll just run down this and let you kind of give what you noticed and what you thought about this season of NFL fantasy football. So our season's best scorers overall, this is not categorized by any position. It is Christian McCaffrey, number 1, who had 391.3 total points. Josh Allen, number 2, 369.58 points. CeeDee Lamb, 367.7. Jalen Hurts, 356.22. And Tyreek Hill, 355.2. Pretty good numbers. I know that I had Tyreek, and it hurt when he was out. I was very reliant on Tyreek. But I'll break it down. QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end, kicker, and defense. QB top 5 is Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, and a surprising one, Jordan Love.
Hey,
Jordan Love
baby.
was the number.
That was my midseason trade.
He was a big pickup. Ended up being a top 5 quarterback this year. Good on Jordan Love putting up a big year. And now running backs, we have Christian McCaffrey, Travis Etienne, Raheem Mostert, Breece Hall, which I thought was shocking because he only has 830 yards on the year. And
he
then
had a lot of carries.
A lot of carries, yes. And then Kyron Williams, who was a workhorse, even with being out, he still put up huge numbers. All right, wide receivers, we have CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, and then rookie Puka Nacua. Big one. Big one. Big one. Tight ends, we have Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce, even in a down year, number 2 tight end, TJ Hawkinson, Evan Ingram, and then George Kittle. Kickers, Brandon Aubrey, huge for him, been absolutely unbreakable, unstoppable this year. Jake Elliott, Justin Tucker, Harrison Butker, and I can't remember Gay's first name.
Gay.
and Gay. That was the number 5 kicker.
That's the kicker for the Colts, right?
Yep. Big. All right, and then lastly, the top 5 scoring defenses, and it shows they've carried Ravens, Cowboys, Browns, Bills, and Dolphins. And the Dolphins one,
I can't believe the Dolphins had a top 5 defense.
They picked up when Jalen Ramsey came back, and he had those interceptions, and it kind of carried their numbers, I feel like. Because the Jaguars was one of them I carried all season because they put up consistent points.
See, I have the Bills and the Chargers defense.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of fantasy player, like, I'm willing to give up defensive kickers, like, all day.
Every week, I'll interchange them.
Yeah. And I'm not a big trade guy, but I did make a couple trades this year.
Yeah.
Like I said, I traded for Jordan Love and Najee Harris, which they were up and down. They had some really good performances for me, but they also laid an egg a couple times too. But overall, I mean, like I said, it wasn't my best year. I was in 3 leagues, didn't win any of them. I think I placed 4th in one league or 5th in one league, and I was like 11th in this league. And I was like 7th in another league. So kind of a mediocre year for me as far as fantasy goes. But, hey, that's why you play the game, because you never know. Yeah. You might win. You might win one just on an lucky chance.
It happens. It definitely happens. I made some questionable trades this year. I know the one league that I'm in, that's a $60 buy-in with Brady and his dad and all of their friends and Seth and Trae and whatever. At the beginning of the season, I traded Mike Evans which ended up being the dumbest decision. I traded Mike Evans for Terry McLaurin and Isaiah Pacheco, which Pacheco was a great pickup for me, but McLaurin was very on and off, and I needed a running back because I drafted Nick Chubb and J.K. Dobbins. Basically the end of my running back slew. But I moved a lot of pieces around. I had DeAndre Swift sitting. He came on strong. Mark Andrews ended up getting hurt for me. It was a year of the injuries, I feel like, because every time you think you have a solid roster, somebody would get hurt, and it was just kind of devastating all in all.
Yeah, there was a lot of injuries this year. I don't know what it is, but, like, also Mahomes, this is in my other league. This is one that I'm in with my cousins and some of their friends. In my keeper league, I had kept Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and both they've had a very down year this year. They were supposed to be my 2 workhorses, and Mahomes he hasn't showed up, and neither has Kelce, but hey, you'll have that. I'll get to pick 2 more players. I think I set this Cozy Murph league up to be a keeper league as well. So I think you get to keep 2 guys off your current roster.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Well, that would be fun. I think that'll add a little slice to it. I definitely think we need to look into that and make sure we have that and set it as an announcement. Guys can look at their rosters and decide who they would like to keep. I need to go look and decide who I would like to keep. But I think another topic of discussion in fantasy was like some of the biggest letdowns comparative to draft position. Guys like Austin Eckler, Tony Pollard, guys that you drafted high that ultimately did not show up for you.
Well, for me, my biggest
one was Tony Pollard.
Yeah, Tony Pollard was one that he had a couple good games, but for the most part, it was very inconsistent. And I think that this year kind of proved that he isn't a number 1 back. He isn't a RB1 caliber back. He definitely is sort of a committee guy. He needs somebody that can come in and switch it up. That's why he looked so good behind Ezekiel Elliott, because Elliott had a different run style. He's more of a punisher, more of a physical back.
Downhill.
And then you had Pollard, who was more of like a scat back pass catcher type guy. So Definitely saw.
Yeah, I seen a lot of people, Cowboys fans, saying they wish they had Zeke for red zone touches right about now.
Yeah. So you don't know what you got till it's gone. Sometimes with running backs. For me, my biggest letdown, and it was simply because he got hurt and he was out for a while. But Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
that
one hurt.
That one hurt bad because had nothing to do with his performance. He performed great this year in the games that he actually played, but he was out for I think 8 weeks this year, and that really hurt.
One of my biggest performers, I will say, was Amon-Ra St. Brown. Was very consistent. Trey McBride was a huge late pickup for me.
Yes.
The Jonathan Taylor pick, people doubted me on.
I did. I was one of them.
But all in all, it was a good fantasy season. It was fun. I felt very, very much enveloped in it. I know Kayla saw me frantically making moves in the middle of the night, many occasions, just looking at my phone. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm being, manager of the year. Don't worry about it type shit. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun this year. Aside from that, Murph, I don't have much fantasy notes other than that. You got anything that you would like to talk about?
Well, like I said, I set this league up to be it's going to be an annual thing, from here until, the foreseeable future. I'd like to do this every year, get 12 to 14 guys. Going to reach out in the group and see, who all wants to play next year. Because it has a button right here, I can renew it for 2024, but I have to set it up. I have to, do some settings. So get with those guys. Those guys will obviously have the first pick if they want to, join the league for next year. And if we have an opening spot, I'll put something on the Facebook page about it. See if we can fill that spot. But that, that's a whole year off, or not a year, but until about September. August, September.
We got time.
Might do a free league next year too for anybody who wants to play. I might just do another league just for shits and giggles. But I've been thinking about because I've been, you listen to enough football podcasts, you hear some crazy stuff, and I've been thinking about doing a Grim Reaper league.
Oh, what's that?
Basically, the idea is everybody picks their team except one guy. One team, and it'll be whoever, draws the short stick or whatever. Everybody picks their team except one guy, and he gets the leftovers. If that guy beats you, he gets to pick a player from your team, and now they're on his team.
That would be
and
sick.
So on and so forth. And so I don't remember the exact specifics of it, but it is something to that effect where it's like each week you have a chance to build your team up and up and up. So there's some different formats we could try to play with. I'm going to look more into it, but I think it would be fun just to have a shits and giggles league like that.
I would
anybody
be
who's interested. Yeah.
That sounds like something that would be stressful and fun at the same time. I definitely would be into that. I didn't know they had leagues like that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool what some of these people get creative with it. Also, we got to come up for the winner. I think we're going to, I'd like to have a little trophy or something that we could send around or whatever.
Yeah.
And then also we got to come up with a punishment for last place. And I think this year
we're working on something.
I think this year we should start off mild and just have them take like you put on Facebook with the tutu and the pink,
Yeah.
I think that would be funny just to have that as the first punishment, and then we can get more creative with it next year.
Yeah.
So
you need to put a tutu on, or just make what I made as your profile picture for I don't know, a week.
There you go.
Put it as your profile pic. I'll tell Trey that he has to do that. We need to get with Rearden. We need to set that up and get that taken care of.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sending the money out at some point this week. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or Friday, but
yeah, I have Seth. I need to message him and send him that. I should text him.
But other than that, I don't really have anything else.
Yeah. aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, that's about everything that we got. It was a good episode, a short piece. Enjoy our fantasy football chit chat. We love you guys. Can't wait for the playoffs. We hope everybody enjoys what we have this weekend. Don't take it for granted because we are almost out of football. With that said, we love you guys. Peace.
Peace.